ShivaPurana, Vidyeisvara Samhita 12. After dwelling on the import and significance of application of bhasma, the sacred ashes and tripundra, he speaks on the grandeur of Rudraksa, for it also liberates a man from all sins and evils. It sanctifies man internally and externally, and a mere glimpse and contact with chanting of mantra purifies a man, a devotee. Shiva, long back in ancient times, narrated the magnificence of Rudraksa to goddess Parvati so that it helps devotees. Ages back, Shiva undertook rigorous penance and tapa. Once he was terribly disturbed, and so the benefactor of the worlds opened eyes, and instantly a few drops of water fell down, and it gave birth to a huge Rudraksa tree, he tells Parvati, and later the trees grew in number and became stationary. Shiva distributed a few beads of Rudraksas to the devotees of Vishnu and among the four Varnas, and later Shiva planted the trees in a country called Gauda, and later he planted and grew the holy trees in Mathura, Ayodhya, Lanka, Malyachal, Sahagiri, Kashi and other regions. The trees of best quality and beads were able to destroy sins and evil forces, and even Shiva categorized these Rudraksas, of four colors, white, red, yellow and black, into Brahmans, Satriyas, Vaisyas and Sudras, and said they were of auspicious nature. For benefit of worldly pleasures and deliverance, devotees must wear holy beads of Rudraksas. To please the god and goddess, the devotees ought to adorn themselves with the fruit of Rudraksas tree. Rudraksa of the size of Amla Emblik Myrobalan, Ghatrifala is the best, and the bead of the size of Jujube is of lower size, Shiva tells Parvati. A Rudraksa of the size of Gram is of small class. However, each class of Rudraksa blesses the devotee with happiness and good fortune. Thereafter, Lord Shiva gives description of benefits of different kinds of beads of Rudraksas. Rudraksas of the size of Amla cause destruction of all distresses. Lighter fruit is more fruitful, he tells. The wise men tell that the Rudraksas that are small give fruit 10 times more, and for the destruction of sin, it is good to wear. Rudraksas with many protrusions yield benefits, give pleasures, and lead to liberation. Worm-eaten beads or beads with cracks and misshaped are not good. In this way, Lord Shiva continues to speak about the blessings of Rudraksa devotees will have. He also tells about the mode of wearing Rudraksa round the neck, arms, elbows, wrists and 3 Rudraksas in the holy thread. A devotee shall put 3 in the thread and tie up 5 round the hip. Lord tells that wearing of Rudraksas destroys many sins, and a devotee who wears 1100 Rudraksas gets fruit. One cannot describe it in hundreds of years. A man of devotion should make a crown of 500 beads and wear it on head for divine blessings. He advises that a devotee should make a rosary of 360 beads and prepare a holy thread, and then should wear after completing rituals. Later, Monk Sutta speaks of number of Rudraksas a man should wear on different parts of the body with japa of different mantras, which are must for a disciple who is willing to master various mantras relating to Rudraksas for wearing the beads in ears, neck, heart, hands, stomach while chanting of mantras pertaining to specific parts of body. A man who wears Rudraksas must abstain from stimulants or liquids of solid nature. Shiva tells holy goddess that white Rudraksas are good for Brahmins, for Kshatriyas red beads, and for the caste of Vaisyas yellow is good, and for Sudras black Rudraksa is prescribed, and the categorization is based on the Vedic principles and if examined from the contemporary point of view. These carry scientific reasons. Thus, the fruit of Rudraksa tree blesses all men of all castes, ashramas, varnas, women, yatis and others if they wear it with devotion and perform requisite rites for appropriate and immediate reward of good health, wealth and prosperity, for it also purifies and ultimately is a path to liberation. However, a man who wears Rudraksa ought to ensure purity and cleanliness of mind, heart and body even as he fulfills requirement of essential prayer and worship. While adoring the body with the holy beads of Rudraksas, one ought to take care of rituals and rites, size of the beads, appropriate mantras and purity of mind, heart and body, he underlines again. He who puts on Tripundara on forehead and adorns different limbs with the holy beads and chants the great Mahamrityunjaya mantra, is a hallowed devotee whose mere glimpses confer darshana of Lord Rudra. An ascetic should adorn it with japa of pranav. The great Lord tells that the holy Rudraksa is a phallic image and all beads need worship and praise. Shiva narrates the nature and kinds of Rudraksas to Parvati, which bless devotees with joys of life and salvation. Rudraksa of one mouth is image of Shiva. Worship of the holy bead keeps goddess Lakshmi near and happy, and so she blesses. It destroys anarchic situations and fulfills people's desires. Rudraksa of two mouths is Lord of Lords, and its worship fulfills all wishes. Similarly, Rudraksa of three mouths is house of all wisdom and knowledge, Vidyas. Four-mouthed Rudraksa is an image of Brahma and blesses a devotee with the four Purusarthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Five-mouthed Rudraksa is a symbol of death, and this Rudraksa is capable of doing anything, and it fulfills wishes and bestows moksha. Five-mouthed Rudraksa destroys sins, and the six-mouthed Rudraksa is an image of Kartikeya and it frees a man from the sins of Brahmahatya, and therefore the great Lord Shiva briefly tells goddess Parvati of the virtues of all the 14 kinds of Rudraksas. Monk Sutta tells inquisitive Brahmans and sages. Rudraksa with 14 mouths is the image of Supreme Lord Shiva, he tells, and thereafter the great Lord tells goddess about the holy mantras, which a devotee should chant while adorning it. A devotee should discard lethargy, lassitude, etc. And with the japa of particular mantra should wear Rudraksas. Here, the Lord also speaks about the 14 mantras specified for each Rudraksa. The moment ghosts, evil spirits, P6, Dakinini, witches etc. see a devotee wearing Rudraksa, they run away, and so he is free from all dangers. Such a devotee delights and gives joy to Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, goddess Durga, Ganesha, Surya etc. Thus, Monk Sutta continues to glorify the essence of Rudraksa and so tells succinctly about Vidyeisvara Samhita. A devotee is required to adhere to certain principles of prayer and worship. Therefore, he ought to seek guidance from a guru, the preceptor, and learn the art and expertise of adoration and worship before he embarks upon the strenuous but motivating and blissful path of devotion to attain the land of God, which Lord Shiva narrates to goddess Parvati. Sutta tells And so concludes the teaching of Vidyeisvara Samhita.